Welcome back, everybody, to Quake Pro League. I am 40 Lions, joined by ZSX. We've already had one set go down. Wenger took it over Garpy 3-0, but we got another one, and it's going to be a heater, Dan. It could be very interesting. We got Effortless versus nosfa. Now, the story behind this, for those that are listening. I don't know if anyone pays attention when I speak. But if Effortless drops this 0-3, not to get ahead of ourselves, but if he drops 0-3 and Cygib can beat Maxter 3-0, then they have a tie, and Cygib won the head-to-head, and then Effortless will drop into relegation. Now, that's a far shot. It's a long shot, I know, but that's just something to look out for. Dan, how do you feel about this? Effortless nosfa.
It's going to be a barn burner.
Ha! Nailed it.
There we go.
I still don't know what that is, but I'm proud of you.
Thanks, my friend. As you said, I think that storyline alone, they should be familiar with that. They should know that's what's up, and that puts a bit more pressure on this. You know, if Effortless ends up going 2-0 down, I mean, he's really not backed into a corner. I mean, there's still a long way to go because then he has to kind of rely on Max to pulling out a map victory, which I think he will do. But still, as you said, there is still a world where Effortless could drop into relegation, and given the season he's had, that would not be good.
No, absolutely not. I mean, he's worked so hard. He's lost a couple of the games that he didn't want to, but he's worked pretty hard to try and make sure that he doesn't, and there's still that sliver of a chance. So he has to be very, very careful going into this one. And I mean, what can you say? We saw a really good performance, I think, 2 weeks ago when I was on, where he was down but not out. And that was kind of the first time I've really seen him persevere through being 4 frags down, being able to keep calm, come back, win the map, win the set. So he's come a long way, in my opinion, I feel like, from kind of just tilting off the planet and saying, you know what, this one's over, to being able to hang in there mentally and pull out a victory. And on the opposite side, in the opposite corner, you know, you got nosfa, who will test your limits. nosfa and Maxter are similar in that they kind of make those, not Hail Mary plays, but they'll just push you. They'll test you early and say, I don't have the stack that you have, but if you don't hit all your shots, I'm going to get in there and make you pay. So kind of keeps you on your toes. I feel like the styles are a little bit different between Effortless and nosfa, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this one shakes out.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think Effortless has shown some professional maturity this season in that he has then stabilized. And as you said, in previous times, he would have just, as you said, tilted and given up almost, and that's not the case now, and that makes him very scary because he's got the skill to back up the talk, and we're seeing it more and more. As nosfa has been a bit, again, unstable at times, but the last few performances we've seen from him he's been growing in stature once again to show us why he was regarded as such an up-and-coming beast. So what is your problem?
I just looked into your eyes and I was like, you are the lead singer of My Chemical Romance, and I love it. Let's take a look at the pick pans real quick while I can laugh off stream here. We got Runes of Sarnath, Molten Falls, and Awoken. We got Strogg versus Galena. We got Slash versus Anarchy and Molten. That should be fantastic. And then we have an Athena into a Doom Slayer. That might be rough for nosfa.
Yes, could be. I do think Effortless has put up a good board, but I don't actually think it's as bad as you might say. I think we saw a cleaner come out recently on Awoken. It was against Cypher, actually. Base played it, didn't he, against Sakil, and that he actually played extremely well. I do think Doom puts a very different challenge because it has the mobility to truly challenge an Athena, but the ceiling of Athena and what she can do is so extremely high. I'm really looking forward to Molten. Haven't seen Slash played in a long time, and I think, again, matching speed with speed is a really good pick here. So I think Slash works particularly well, and I do like the Strogg on map 1. So I don't think it's an outdraft either way. Actually, I think they both have picks that favor them. I think ever so slightly I might edge it to nosfa though.
I'd say I agree. Again, the Athena pick on Awoken is what worries me, just because Doomslayer is so mobile, can take over the map so quickly. Athena is extremely quick, but the stack is what worries me. You know, one shotgun blast, one rocket, and it just could turn the tide so quickly. So,
yeah,
interested to see how this shakes out, but I don't blame you for believing what you believe. And Chad is starting to predict as well. What's the matter? What happened? What are you talking about?
I can't handle this.
I thought we were going to make a band called Squad Damage. What happened? You left me hanging. Yeah, there we go.
I'm back.
Now we're talking. Yeah.
Back in the game. I don't know. I think it's actually going to be a 2-1. I do feel a 2-1 coming out. I'm liking what I'm seeing from both these players recently, so it's going to come down to who's better on the day. I do favour nosfa's draft ever so slightly, so I'm going to edge it to nosfa. I see what you're saying about the Doom and Athena. I think if you play Athena really well, I still think she has that edge up on Doom though.
Fair enough. I heard the final bell, if you will, as we're going to get into map number 1 shortly. Chat rolling in their predictions here, and I believe the chat is kind of siding with you on this one. Again, they're buying what Dan is selling in terms of predictions. nosfa pulling away 91% to 9. Actually,
wow.
Just swapped to 69 to 31. Nice.
I would have said that's a bit too extreme.
Well, we'll see. Again, this the pressure is there, although not a lot. So if Effortless can just put this map away right off the bat, kind of relieves all of the pressure, right? So we'll see. Again, the story is going to be if he drops 0-3, that could be a nightmare. A long way to go, though, because then Saigev has to 3-0 Maxter, which is just a huge kind of mountain to climb, if you will. But we'll see. One map at a time here. Anything can happen on a Sunday. And Sundays are for Quake, Dan, so let's get into it. Right now, live on map number 1 between Effortless and nosfa. Set 2 of the day. We're going to start off on Effortless, and he's going to start off in the courtyard, throwing that totem down, grabbing that armor shard, making his way over to, looks like, rockets, maybe even Mega.
Yep, obviously just a pretty standard start here. nosfa just whizzing around the map using the speed of the stroke. Very similar to the discussion we had at the start of last series. When you've got someone like a Stroke or a Galena, that tempo that nosfa can set is so incredibly powerful, particularly if he starts connecting with his rails, which you know he can do. He's already met Effortless down here as well, caught completely off guard. Actually done a lot of damage.
Wow.
But the frag does go to nosfa.
And just, yeah, that'll happen, I guess. I don't know, nosfa. Great shot there, and the rail into the peeker. Wow, big damage too, nosfa. Just be careful though. Mega does go to Effortless. Ooh, very wise turn there. That could have been a nightmare for nosfa here, as Effortless just looking for any kind of armor he can get. Working on getting at least 1 totem back. 5 seconds till he gets the second one down. nosfa has not found the first quite yet. Is it right outside the T-Con? Interesting rocket jump, but again, he has the totem, so calculated from Effortless there. Work to take care of that peeker rather quickly, but there goes the totem right off the bat. It does give Effortless the information on where nosfa is. Ooh, almost hits that rail through the telly. But Effortless doing a really good job of not taking any damage and stacking back up off the lights. Make sure he has an optimal stack for this next fight over the Mega. Not much of a fight at all, as Effortless is going to delay it, making sure nosfa is nowhere to be found first. And this gives him an opportunity to make a play on the heavy.
Absolutely. That delay is obviously significant because it means he wants to make a play on the heavy. He's deliberately separating the 2 items, and he's going to set up incredibly early down on the heavy as well. He gets spotted out at the last second though with a big lick of damage. And nosfa's a little bit late for this. He's going to be able to bully his way in with some good rockets though. He's taking a lot of damage himself, trading LG, and Effortless comes out on top fairly comfortably. Restacks as well. Rocket jumps up. He will be picking up this Mega with another frag, maybe? No, but he does get the Mega.
Very close there. nosfa almost made it rain with that tri-bolt. And those are the kind of plays as Effortless plants him with the rocket on the rail. Those are the kind of plays that nosfa will test you. He'll say, hit your shots, otherwise I'm going to keep doing this to you. So Effortless doing a good job of standing his ground. It wasn't the cleanest, but he got the job done. Now he's trying to position himself for this heavy. It's a little bit of spam to try and scare him off, but nothing doing as Effortless. Ooh, he does miss that easy rail. nosfa gets a little bit of damage in, but Effortless got the heavy. But he won't be able to get the second Mega and keep the cycle going.
Oh, but the next round of items is big. nosfa has a better stack at this point in time ever. Only slightly though. Doesn't spot out Effortless.
Wow!
He gets dropped on as well. Big LG, but Effortless does back off, and nosfa now should just be rocket jumping up. Or he's going to go around the back way, actually, the stairs, which has been predicted by Effortless. He hears him going up. The rocket jump is big, though. He's also going to bully his way on, but once again, Effortless is ready for that, and he's just hitting more.
The LG is tried and true. Patience there from Effortless, but he has to be careful how patient he is as the machine gun is just tearing him apart right now. Oh, and no. nosfa relentless on his chase. The health bubble, will it save Effortless? Oh, wow. That is the play that will tilt someone off the planet. So, Oh, Effortless has to be very careful now not to let that get into his head, though. nosfa, again, just no fear with the peeker. Can he hit another rail? Oh, Effortless with a good job. Pulling out the machine gun, getting that frag. Not letting this spiral out of control. Fantastic. Rail off the spawn, but he's going to take a lot of shotgun damage. Switches to rockets into the rail. Capitalizes yet again, but he's so weak. nosfa doing a great job of just maximizing damage.
I would like to see him play a little bit more strategical, though. It feels like he's being slightly reckless with some unnecessary moves in terms of aggressing onto the Mega in particular, and Effortless has just been ready for it. I think maybe once or twice, perhaps, is fine, but it's so consistent that Effortless is prepared every single time nosfa is making these moves. So want to see him work harder to forge opportunities rather than just forcing them. Big split on the items, though.
And he's so fortunate that Effortless was willing to just kind of play passive and maybe play for sound on that pickup, because Effortless could have dove in on that Mega, stolen that away, and this would be a whole different story. But somehow, nosfa just took full map control.
Yep, Effortless. Nearly out of all ammo here. 4 rockets left. Hasn't got a lot to work with if nosfa does decide to push in. He does do, but... Oh no, what was that?
He's hanging by a thread. A 25 will help him out a little bit. But not in a good way. 58 HP, just praying. But he stays alive, grabs the 50 shard, does have 2 25s to work with, as well as 2 vials to try and get another totem going. 5-2, still in the lead. nosfa, again, full map control here. Split on the items is big enough for nosfa to make a play in position on the Mega as well. At this point, it's starting to get kind of to the point where Effortless might just play super defensive, Dan. I mean, 3 frags isn't a lot, but on Ruins, if he gets caught out like this, though, it's never going to work. Yeah. That's a good play from nosfa to make sure that it doesn't get too out of hand and too defensive too early.
I get that he's been struggling. No, don't. Oh, I get he's been struggling for map control, but at the same time, he needs to find a way to have more of a presence on the items. This is good, though. Nice little push there, but would love to see him on the defense being a bit more proactive. I know nosfa's been bullying him around the map, but again, this is what the best players can do. They'll always find a way to have a say on these major items. Oh, great.
Oh my god, nosfa. Wow. But he has rail out again. Oh, and he still makes that trade happen, and nosfa, like, he'll take those because he knows that he's getting in Effortless's head. He gets in the opponent head. What a spawn right there. Has the Unholy Trinity. Now he can push. Effortless has to hit all of his rails now. Does hit 2. Can he hit the 3rd? Just misses out, and nosfa keeping this so close, only down by 1. There's the aggressive rocket jump up, just barely gets around the corner. And he has enough time to get the heavy as well. And so just like that, these crazy kind of plays that we were talking about that nosfa's not afraid to make worked in his favor here. Now he has to grab this armor shard quickly or decide if he wants to go to the heavy, and it looks like he's just going to lose out on the heavy because of the armor shard. Yeah,
he's had to forfeit this heavy. I think he's just got timing now. He's used the peeker just to make sure as well. It does feel that the momentum is very much in nosfa's corner. That has stalled it a little bit by the good defensive play from Effortless there to win that heavy, but still, nosfa's the one making the plays. He's the one with initiative. He's the one setting the pace of the game. And if Effortless doesn't connect with everything, he's going to die. So this next heavy is actually a really big item for nosfa if he could take it. And Effortless is sat very early down there. nosfa's actually going to drop, but he's too late. He did hear the pickup though, so he gets out. Only taking a lick of damage, can double it back. And Effortless is not ready for it.
Just these plays from nosfa. It's so beautiful to watch because he's not afraid. LG on LG. The rail on the way out. The Mega will go down. He needs to be careful here, but he hangs in there. He's got a rail. He just needs a little bit of it. Oh my god, he hit the rail! Tied at 7. nosfa, you madman.
I mean, madman indeed. He had no right to win that frag. Effortless is the one that played better positionally, but just got bullied in terms of aim, and this is why. Momentum is so big for nosfa at this point in time. He's going to cut Effortless down here again. The rail does connect. That takes away the heavy. Another one. This time doesn't. He's on point though for the Mega. Tries to cut Effortless off in the doorway. Doesn't do so, but hits a lot more. And Effortless in a lot of trouble moving into the last minute of this map.
What gives him the right? Oh, giant rocket into the LG. This should be easy. And he actually switches back to the rocket. And he's like, look, I'm going to hit you with another hundo. Don't take it personally. It's just business. 8-7. As the Mega's nowhere to be found, but that rail. Oh, that rail. decides to switch to the machine gun to ensure the kill, but nosfa is popping off. He's heating up in the right moment. 1 minute left and 2 frags up. This is brutal.
I mean, this is GG. Yep, and that's GG.
Oh, effortless! No, no, just don't. Just don't. No.
Do you want to know? You want to know when he lost that map?
Sure, please enlighten me.
When he took his foot off the gas and he gave nosfa the full map and just started hiding. You just felt this momentum change, and he never got a way back in. nosfa got ahead of steam. These risky plays started working. He started connecting, and it was all because Effortless gave him the kind of the width of the game to do that.
Oh no! Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. We kind of called it. I think it was around the 5 minute mark, even.
Yeah.
Where he could have dropped in on the Mega, decided not to, fair enough. Okay, positioning through the T-Con is rough, but the Heavy was nowhere to be found as well. So then one cycle of items gone to nosfa when he didn't have any right to get both. And just like that, nosfa does a little bit of magic. You know, lightning in a bottle pops off and just unloads on Effortless and takes that map in true nosfa style. So if you're a nosfa fan, that's a big start to the series. If you're an Effortless fan, you're kind of like, what the hell just happened, man? It's rough.
Yeah, I mean, nosfa didn't change the way he played from start to finish. He was trying to play very aggressive. He wanted to get into Effortless' face. That's the way he plays, but maybe he knows that's, again, one way to get Effortless' skin. But as we just said, as soon as Effortless then retreated into himself, those plays became less risky because Effortless wasn't making a play on the map. He had full reign, and this was the big frag here. You could see the stack advantage. He just able to push in, and ever since then, it was really an uphill battle from Effortless. Even though he was the one that had the lead, nosfa was the one that had the momentum. Oh, I just have a camera.
Just nuts plays like that. I mean, Effortless is kind of right to be like, what the hell are you doing there? And then this beautiful rail. Look at that. Just the prediction, knowing exactly where Effortless wants to escape out of. But yeah, hitting 2 rails into a peaker, like, the percentage of that is not very high, Dan, but those are the plays that we've seen nosfa make. And again, it's that situation where I know that I don't have the advantage positionally, maybe even stack, but I'm going to go for it and make you hit all of your shots. And if you don't, you will pay the price. And that was the story of that first one. Again, along with Effortless kind of taking his foot off the gas a little bit too early for our liking, but nosfa made him pay. So just well done to nosfa and Effortless. You know, bouncing back on map number 2, you're going to want to, if he can get good momentum going at first, just keep your foot on the gas, or at least try and show up for the items to do damage at the very least, right? You don't want to let the stack spiral.
Absolutely, and that's the balance you have to find. It's obviously incredibly hard, otherwise everyone would do it. I know the best players can do it well, but you still have to find a way to do it. Otherwise, if you give opponents the caliber of nosfa free reign in the map, particularly on a champion like Strog, they're going to absolutely suffocate you and take the game away. And you could see Effortless struggling from that point out. I didn't even realize nosfa was sitting at third, actually. I didn't see the American leaderboard before today. That's really impressive.
Yeah, really, really, really good. He should be pretty much just iced in the top 4 for the first round bye. So this is just kind of a confidence builder for him. I don't think he's really in danger of dropping out past 4th, but you know, he's going to want to try and take this 3-0. And again, 1 map down, tension starts to build for Effortless. He's got to bounce back on Molten Falls again. If he goes down 0-3, then his fate is all in Sygib's hands. If he can somehow get a 3-0 over Maxter, which again, not an easy task at all, but you're going to want to win a map, if not the set. So we'll see. Molten Falls, map number 2, very, very speedy champs. How do you feel about this one, Dan?
Like I said in the intro, I'm really interested to see how the Slash pans out. We haven't seen her a lot in this stage. That's because the map pool doesn't really favor her, but Molten Falls is one of the few that you can play here and play her well on. And going against an Anarchy, it is a great pick. You want to match speed with speed, and that's exactly what Splash allows you to do, and better. So again, we're going to have to see Effortless actually step up to the mark here and put on the aggression, because if he lets nosfa take the map away with a Slash, he's going to find it just as hard as he found map 1.
Yeah, I agree. As the predictions are rolling in, it looks pretty even, all things considered. 56-44 in favor of nosfa. We'll see if he can tack on another victory and take the series. But you're right, Dan. It's going to get fast. It's going to get furious. We'll see how ludicrous it gets right now. Map number 2 between Effortless and nosfa is live, and we're starting off on nosfa.
The difference, though, here is that Effortless does have an Anarchy. Last map on the Galena, it is hard to keep the tempo high, but he does have an Anarchy which he can then play on parity with nosfa, so that's a boon for him.
Oh, big rail right off the bat. Fearless again. nosfa just little peek with the shotgun up the jump pad. Just testing.
Oh
my god.
He's also used the inject as well, so he's incredibly low here. nosfa,
Good rails.
good defensive rails though.
Yeah,
Might even be
keeping
in
him
time to hit
alive.
another one.
So early on, again, we see nosfa testing Effortless, and he's able to stand his ground a little bit better this time, chaining together 2 rails and making nosfa think twice before pushing, but I think it's going to be the same old story, Dan. Is he going to go up the jump pad? Is he going to pressure? It's just a matter of where he's going to pressure from. nosfa also doing a great job of collecting all these vials, ensuring that he has the snail trail whenever he needs.
nosfa knows exactly what's up. Effortless, same position before. nosfa willing to stick around for a fight. He's also going to be a little bit late for the Mega now. Whoa, lucky hits that rocket because nosfa's already there. He's going to drop in. Lightning gun's big. The rockets are also pretty good as well. That is a critical rail though. Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness.
And I tell you what, actually, I doubt Effortless has played much against a Slash because it's not a popular pick. It really does set you off guard when you forget how quick she can play. And so the first minute or two is actually going to be adjusting to that tempo.
Oh my goodness. And I think you're absolutely right. That does come into play because it's kind of been, phased out of the meta. So when you see it, you're like, oh, I'm a little rusty. I forget, how quick off the spawn, how quick around the map Slash can traverse. But nosfa 2 minutes in, 2 up. And for those counting at home, I mean, technically this is nosfa's server. So map number 1 was actually not, and he still took that one. So everything going against Effortless, question mark, find out tonight at 10, as he's got a little bit of work to do here. nosfa chains together some more items. This could be really, really rough for Effortless.
Yeah, this is really rough. He's now not even making a show onto the Mega as well. Look at the stack of nosfa. It is painful, and we've seen already the damage he can do with the speed he has. And the question is, how did Effortless get back in this game? He has all the weaponry. He needs to try and sneak an item. So will nosfa make a mistake? He hasn't even got any lights to play with, so this is really damn risky. nosfa could just bust up the jump pad. He's going to figure out where Effortless is now because he's been nowhere else. Letting another round of items go for free as well, it looks like. Yeah, he's not even going to make a play on the Mega, so this is dangerous.
I mean, if anything, if nothing else, this is a pretty good masterclass from Effortless on just not taking damage, not being seen at all because he doesn't want to. Nothing would be to his advantage here. He needs the perfect trap, but he still needs a little bit of a stack to even try and play that. Because again, you pop a rocket, you can't really escape against a Slash. She can just be on you immediately because of the speed.
Yeah.
So nothing's free.
Yeah, and at this point, he's missed out on the items he can't contest. He's going to have to wait until... Oh my word, was he trying to telefrag him?
Oh, and even then a rail, man. Like, you can't get away. Oh no, and the float actually really good, LG. That's exactly what Effortless needed here, as nosfa getting a little bit crazy, but can he finish the frag? He needs it so bad. nosfa's crazy. Confirmed insane. He does steal the heavy, but he does a lot of good damage on the way out too. Inject is down now for Effortless, and nosfa actually gets a favorable spawn, but no weapons for the Mega.
Yeah, the fact that he stole the heavy though was huge. It was a balls to the wall move, but it worked out purely because he did steal it away. That puts him in now in prime position to contest for this next heavy. And Effortless is again struggling. But this is the game plan now. Like, set up these traps, catch nosfa off guard. If he comes flying in, you hit the Hertz rocket and you pop him up, then more than likely you can get a frag. But it's just such a high risk style, and I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, please leave it to the professionals. nosfa, trained professional at acting crazy. 2-1 still, as we're getting closer to the halfway point, and Effortless just is going to play this hyper defensive style, wait for the perfect opportunity, make sure that he catches nosfa through a choke point with a rocket jump, with a, just a kind of willy-nilly jump down into LG again like we saw before, and that's exactly the kind of fight that Effortless wants. Nothing more, nothing less. Here's rails exchange, nothing landing. nosfa trying to do a little bit of tri-ball, predict him going up the jump pad, but nothing doing, and he doesn't even want to do damage. Dan, not even on the Mega. Free items again. Rail. Needs to hit it. Rocket won't land, and Effortless playing exactly how he wants, melting with LG, and now he could drop down for free. There's the shotgun frag to tie it at 2. So Effortless kind of using nosfa's strategy and playstyle directly against him.
He is, but now if nosfa gets a frag here, I'm sure he'll be more than aware of what he has to do, and he's been a little bit careless around that mid-level, so perhaps just play the back channels to start with. You know, this has been caught out twice in virtually the same maneuver.
This is just the item disparity. Oh, the rocket, is it good enough? Chase, here it is, the inject. Needs to be careful of that ledge as well. Jumps over, the rockets won't land. Finally, 2 HP. nosfa takes him down, and oh, look, there's a Mega. The timing on that fight was beautiful. Ooh, misses with the rail off the spawn. That would have been huge. The LG coming in hot from Effortless. He wants to try and make sure that gets this frag back as soon as he can. nosfa needs to be careful. 96 HP. The Heavy's not going to be up for another second. Is Effortless going to push? He is, but a little bit too late. Now he can't commit.
That was really smart by nosfa. He knew Effortless didn't have a rocket, so he could just
Wow.
stand there, and there is literally nothing Effortless could do. He shouldn't really even be that room if he can't contest. And now he's caught off the spawn as well. Easy frag, and this is again momentum-based gaming. Like, it's really difficult to see how Effortless gets back into the game when he has zero presence on the map. He's just relying on nosfa making mistakes.
You gotta wonder why he even dropped on that Heavy earlier. There's really no need, as now he's trying to hit every rail, and he forces himself in a position to hit everything, and he can't. The inject won't save him, and nosfa tagging him on 6-2 now.
I mean, the item disparity is incredible. 6 times as many items.
Yeah, absolutely brutal. 2 Heavies and 2 Megas for Effortless. 12 apiece for nosfa. He is, you know, getting the lights because that's all there is. 14 for Effortless, only 7 for nosfa, but okay, even with that, nosfa takes himself out, but he makes sure to take Effortless down, so nothing really changes.
And he spawns on the heavy side as well, so he gets back into his rotation. He doesn't have the items, I mean, so he doesn't have the weapons, so Effortless really needs to make this count, but again, it's very difficult when he hasn't got the stack to work with.
Inject, will it save Effortless's life? And it will. He does win out on that. He's so weak. Needs to be very careful. After this Mega pickup, looking for some armor now, but with 2 minutes, I mean, you gotta start making decisions quicker and quicker and taking a little bit more gamble, but maybe nosfa will take it for you as he goes up the jump pad. Great catch from Effortless with the LG. 2 frags down now, Dan.
Nice. Now he can switch gears, and he's going to have to switch gears with 2 minutes to go. He's going to have to nosfa. He's really early for the heavy there, but somehow that works out. I mean, he is so early, I don't even think Effortless expected him to be there. That was a little bit bizarre. He's going to pick it up now, though, and 3 frags in a minute and a half against a slash. Again, possible, but very difficult.
That's just such a brutal play. So you're absolutely right. Like, why would you be there so early? But nosfa kind of maybe played into that, and these rockets, pinpoint accuracy. nosfa's looking a little Vin Diesel right now in this Fast and Furious, and the GGs come out, and Effortless not like this. Not like this.
Yeah, you have to question what the plan was. I mean, it's almost impossible. I'm not even being like exaggerating. It's almost impossible to win this game without having an item. You're relying on your opponent making mistakes, which when you're playing in the QPR, that's not a game plan you want to employ.
I agree. I mean, we saw it kind of in the first game, and you alluded to it with Wenger, right? Like, when he gives up items, he's doing max damage, and the positioning is there so that he can get in on the next set. When we saw Effortless kind of put the brakes on, it was a matter of just not being on the map. Like, I'm not even going to show myself. I'm just going to wait, and you're literally giving everything to your opponent without doing damage. Like, it's going to take a Hail Mary rocket. It's going to take a miracle play to even get back in control.
Yeah, and the whole point of that the items is that they're always in risky positions. So if you're not going to actively go for an item, what you trade for that is positional advantage. And so if you're not then using that leeway of being able to get into a free position, then what is your plan? Because you're giving up free item, and then Quake is such a momentum-based game. It's all about confidence and feeling the flow, and you're giving your opponent a free stack, free momentum, free exits. They're just feeling themselves, and they're the one dictating the play. And Effortless made a few good traps in the mid ground, but I think, as I said, nosfa very quickly understood what Effortless was doing, and after those 2 mistakes, it didn't make a mistake again. And you're almost relying on hitting incredibly insane shots, which, again, is not a sustainable way to play the game.
Yeah, I totally agree. And this is one of the times Effortless caught him out and made it look easy there. But after the second one, nosfa was like, no more, no more. And that's the thing about him, you know, playing this, quote, crazy kind of style. He'll test your limits, but that's exactly what it is. It's a test. And he says, oh, this isn't working? I'll just adapt. And that's exactly what we saw. As he catches him out here on the Mega, Effortless just didn't even... He said, come on, man. What are you even doing there? But nosfa strings together map number 2, takes the series, but again, danger zone, Dan. If nosfa can take map number 3, then Effortless might be on the relegation kind of plank, walking it at least, because then it's completely up to Saigib, Maxter, and how that series plays out.
Yeah, and you don't ever want to leave your fate in someone else's hands, because you know how that's going to turn out. So all eyes on Effortless now. I think in terms of the picks, this is the one where he's got the strongest in terms of the draft. Doom versus Athena. Doom is very much on par, I think, and Athena played well, can bully a Doom, but at the same time, Doom gives you a lot of easy access to the mid ground, and if you can take that mid ground away from Athena, then she will really struggle.
Very interested to see how this shakes out, especially because I don't think I've seen nosfa play Athena a ton, but you know, a little something probably in the works here as the predictions coming in. It looks like we got here 64% for nosfa so far as they're still pouring in. So it seems the chat thinks that nosfa's going to take this 3-0, but I got this feeling about Doom. I know nosfa's playing well, he's hitting all his shots, but I just feel like Doom's a little bit too strong on here against Athena. But I've been wrong most of my life, Dan, so I wouldn't be surprised if nosfa can come out with this one, but I think this one is definitely a little more in favor of Effortless. And again, this is the map that he needs. He needs to be able to at least one to kind of take the pressure off and say, all right, it didn't go as planned, but I'm not in relegation. Because again, if he drops this one, then it's totally up to Saigib, Maxter, and you never want to put your fate in other people's hands.
No, not at all. I mean, Maxter's been playing incredibly well, but Saigib's been regaining a little bit of form, so you never know. That could sway 3-0 to Saigib. It means more to him in terms of where his standing will be. So yes, definitely want to see Effortless regroup and step it up for this one. It is his best shot of all 3 maps in terms of the picks, and he has had some really good Awokens in the past. So I'm going to side with him, but I don't know, my gut's still telling me an nosfa with victory.
It might happen. Chad again does agree with you, but as a former pro, as a current pro, I mean, you're a pro in all of our hearts, right? Being in Effortless's position, do you see that frustration of the early GG and just kind of, you know, the frustration mounting into an early GG? Do you see that as good? Do you think you should use the last remainder of the map to try and focus in? Do you think it's better to just try and, all right, whatever, this one's out, focus on the next one? Like, as a pro, what do you consider to be the most optimal way of using that time, knowing that probably that map is far gone, right? Like, it's probably over, but do you play it out? Do you try and win it? Do you just say, concede and say, I'm just going to mentally reset and go try and focus in on the next map because that is going to be crucial for me? Like, as a player, what's some insight you can give us?
Yeah, it really depends from player to player. Everyone has their own strategies on how to cope, on how to think, psychological, physiological, whatever it is. I mean, I've had times where I've GG'd out early and then come back really refreshed. I've also had times where I've made a really good go of it. I think it depends on really how serious you play the end of it. If you're going to play it out and you're just going to not really take much care, you end up being more frustrated by the end of that game because you keep in your own head and if better to GG out. But if you can make a game of it and you can make a comeback, you can then, as you say, get a little bit of feeling, all right, this guy's human, this is vulnerable, I can do this now. So it really depends on how you're going to play the end of it. There's no right or wrong way to do it. I think GGing out early never feels like a good sign from someone, but if you could take that moment to get a breath and to step back for a second and relax, then it can play in your favor.
Totally agree. We'll see how that worked out. For Effortless, I heard the noise. We're going into map number 3. Chat, if you're an Effortless fan, give him your energy. He's going to need it right now. If you're a nosfa fan, just keep the good times rolling because nosfa is kind of bulldozing his way to a 3-0 right now, looking hot. As the predictions, again, they're about to close to 71% for nosfa. All right. Chat has spoken. Let's see if Effortless has something to say about it. Again, his QPL career could be on the line here. If he drops to this one 0-3, then it's completely up to Saigib, Maxter. But it all starts with this. Effortless nosfa, map number 3. Nosfa's already taken the set, but he wants to take the series 3-0, and we're going to start off on Effortless. Right over the rockets here early. Effortless trying to hit that rail. He's staying around for so much damage, not connecting with the rail, and nosfa punishing with machine gun. And he wants more here, as he could just relentless pressure, man. Not letting him breathe.
Okay, that's the worst possible start you could imagine. Over 4 rails, and you just get taken out by a starting machine gun? Ooh, that feels bad, man.
That rocket, though, turning the tide a little bit. And again, that's exactly how it works with Athena. One rocket, and it is a completely different ballgame here. Full map control for Effortless. Can't really find the nails, but nosfa will find the rails. Effortless goes through, trying to time that to avoid any kind of damage. And luckily for him, he does. So stacks about even, all things considered, and he might be able to catch out nosfa here. A little bit of rocket damage. Up the jump pad he goes. nosfa with a good rail. Effortless replies with one of his own.
nosfa has a bit more of the resources to fall back on. He's going to pressure this Mega as well. Effortless doesn't expect this. Luckily, he does go across, but he misses the first rail. Doesn't even have time for a second, and nosfa scoots himself away and gets a free heavy as well. And he's looking absolutely fly in the start of this game.
Ooh. Decent rocket there. Just kind of tempting fate there with that rocket. Very lucky that it didn't do a lot of damage with the misread here, but the rockets will bail him out. Again, Athena a little bit squishy even with all the items. Effortless 9 total HP after that fight.
Yeah, great read by nosfa. He knows Effortless can't stick around, steals away the Mega, and also will be in position for the heavy as well. And Effortless is, again, not in the zone to do any sort of damage. He's got control of the T-Con though, that's where he needs to be. We've seen the chaos can be caused by the defensive rockets up there, but has to retreat to pick up some of the right weapons.
Just catches him out on the jump over, hits a rail. Very, very good sign for Effortless, as he was 1 for 6 previous to that. Just going up the jump pad, the rocket should be free, but he misses the rail on the exit. nosfa staying alive now, trying to do some damage on his way out, making his way over the heavy. Can he steal it away? There's the hook. Effortless had the shot lined up, but the hook ruins everything. A little bit of LG from down below, pushing Effortless back. Also with a decent stack now, Effortless grabbing the 50 shard in the LG room, and might meet here at the Mega yet again as nosfa flies on through, pressuring with LG. LG on LG, is it going to be enough? Effortless so weak, still sticking around, praying the Tri-Bolt does the damage, but nosfa says, I have a Tri-Bolt of my own.
Theme of the day so far is Effortless's rail has just been non-existent. 20%, 2 for 10, and he's going to have to hit more because this is what nosfa's doing. He's taking his long-range engagements. That's good use of the LG though. Lots of damage coming out from Effortless. Nearly connects with the rocket as well. That would have been sublime. Now this is a little bit reckless, just running in directly at nosfa. He's also given up position on the Mega as well. So he needs to rethink these choices. Slightly unnecessary push coming out, and now he's going to take some more damage potentially before he picks up the Mega. Unfortunately, he does get it for free.
Very fortunate there that nosfa missed that rail. That would have been curtains here as Effortless has the position on the high ground. He's going to make a nice little jump across there, avoiding those rockets. Great rail, but just like that, nosfa matches the damage. Heavy does go to Effortless, but the stack isn't that great even after the pickups, because again, nosfa with good item damage output there as it catches him out with the LG, and that was pretty.
That was pretty. Now that was a big frag. It was clean just before the Mega. Aggressive chase here. He's lucky that nosfa didn't read it and go straight for the Mega. Taking a lot of damage, but it is just before the next major item. Also gets the light as well, so he's taking a lot more resources off the map. It's good play by Effortless, but that's a clutch rail by nosfa that will win in this heavy.
Oh, almost gets another one. Just clipping those cheeks. 3 to 3, 4 minutes in here. Decent damage there. Just a little chip through the telly as Effortless maintaining position. T-Con area here, 10 seconds till the Mega though. He hears the telly play, and now it's a matter of, do you think he's going to hook straight into the armor? Here's the jump pad, so now Effortless denies the 50 shard, has position on the Mega as well. Good damage through the telly, almost hits the follow-up, and this is some good pressure here from Effortless. Oh, but he lets him get away. Is he going to go for the Mega? Good play.
Nicely
played.
played.
Not being too crazy.
But Effortless is asserting more dominance on the map. He's making sure he has a concerted effort to play the mid ground, and that's hurting nosfa. So he needs to continue that, make sure he is playing more alpha in that respect and not letting nosfa run the map. But as I say that, he has retreated and now lost position over on this Mega. He's going to play the long way round, and if nosfa reads this, he can do a lot of damage if Effortless wants to make a play into that room. But instead, he favors the heavy for this rotation. Probably the smarter move.
The rails from nosfa. Effortless with a reply on that one. There's the hook up T-Con, and now Effortless on the low ground, forced to play from here. nosfa waiting for that exit, and look at the drop rail. Good reply from Effortless. That was so clutch.
That was such a big rail from Effortless. He might even win in the Mega, but nosfa's still going to bully his way around. Got a rail out though. Wrong weapon choice, and it costs him. He should have predicted the push from Effortless. He doesn't. Effortless takes the lead. Going to go in aggressive. The dude comes out and he smacks him in the face. Takes a 2-frag lead. 5.5 minutes in.
This is what can happen. Athena just too squishy here, and Effortless taking all the frags he can to pad this and try and take this map. He's up 3, 6 minutes in. This is what that jump is. That going to be the death of him? And it is right here. But what a rocket. Huge rocket before he goes down here. Mega's 5 seconds up, and it's going to be very, very dangerous to go for. I think nosfa knows that he can't.
I mean, that could be a game-saving rocket, as it just means that Effortless wins both of these major items now. Huge play. He still left the heavy up though. He's picking it up now, and there's a big split and a big rocket.
God. All right, we could breathe again. 7-4 here as Effortless with a fantastic rocket gets the drop on nosfa, and that's going to be curtains. He tries to hook in for some damage, but the shotgun patiently waiting. Good LG though. nosfa again pressuring, not afraid here. Is it going to be enough? The heavy pickup saving Effortless's life, at least for the time being. So weak. nosfa needs to be careful now as Effortless has position with the shotgun. nosfa wisely decides to try and stack back up off the resources in the LG room, but Mega goes to Effortless. And with 3 minutes left, I mean, this is looking like Effortless has done it and has gotten himself out of the danger zone.
Yeah, the only way he really shouldn't win this now is if nosfa goes on an absolute streak, or if Effortless does what he did map 1 and retreats within himself and lets these items go for free. If that happens and nosfa gets momentum, it really is game on. But so far he's done a great job of making sure he's got a strong position on the mid ground, keeping some degree of pressure on the items. He has missed out a free heavy though, and he will also miss out on the Mega as well. Lovely rockets though.
nosfa can't get away, and I think what saves Effortless is the kind of medium versus light stack issue here. Like, he doesn't really have the items, but he can do the damage he needs. nosfa pressuring, but the shotgun is just going to land. The rail won't, and Effortless just securing this victory, making sure nothing crazy can happen in the last 2 minutes. Rocket into shotgun right before the Mega. Well played from Effortless. So, you know, a bit of a clinch series, right? But he did what he needed to. Again, not the prettiest, but gets it done. nosfa gets the series victory, but can't quite put the 3-0 on him. So Effortless, luckily for him, is out of the danger zone.
He is, and he should be happy with that. It's obviously an improvement on previous seasons, so it's good to see that progress being made. At the same time, I think maps 1 and 2 did show a couple of glaring weaknesses that can be remedied, and if he does remedy those, then suddenly he progresses even further up the leaderboard. So you're never going to be in control forever. You can't always play your A game forever. It's how do you make sure you have that presence on the map. And we saw in maps 1 and map 2, there were both times where he just completely retreated within himself and gave the full dominance and momentum to nosfa for free. So if he can fix those, that's another sign of progression.
So looking at the leaderboards now, the story shifts from, is Saigib going to be able to knock Effortless into the relegation and save himself, to, if Saigib wins, I believe he can knock Dramas down into relegation.
Interesting.
Regardless, Saigib has to win. It
3-0, right?
It looks like if he puts up 2 maps, then there's a tie between Dramas and Saigib. And I believe Dramas had the tiebreaker over Saigib for that, so the head-to-head doesn't do him any good. He has to win the 3 maps, as you said.
So it's still really important for Psychic then.
And that's an insane ask to 3-0 Maxter, but
Yeah.
you know, focusing back on what we just saw, shouts to Effortless for pulling himself out of the danger zone, winning that last map. And big shouts to nosfa for taking the series. So he's going to feel good going into the 2-week break into Stage 2 finals. Again, sitting atop the top 4, so nosfa will get one of the first round buys. And just really, really good play. Maybe not so much on this map. I feel like it was the champ issue more than anything, because Athena, with that high-flying style that nosfa has, it doesn't really lend itself. It's not kind to that kind of style, because those pushes off the spawn, just you don't have the stack really to work with.
Yeah, no, Athena's always a riskier play, and you saw as soon as he went down, there was a couple of kind of a minute period where he gave up 3 or 4 frags in a row and never really had to come back from there on out. You have to have a lead, you have to have the momentum, and nosfa didn't have that. Maybe a better pick would have been a Ranger. I don't think it was banned out. Worth a shot though, and it was entertaining nonetheless. But Effortless, as you said, did what he needed to do. Got off to a really bad start, but still regrouped and won comfortably in the end.
Nitty gritty, that's what it comes down to. So Effortless out of the danger zone, and you know, well done to him. He's been there before, not a good feeling, but not this time for him. Again, shouts to nosfa, top 4 spot. He's going to get a first round bye and the series victory. So really, really good play, really good adaptation, especially on map number 2 from nosfa there. Just kind of reading how Effortless was just waiting for him to play into his hand, and then just completely flipping the script. Effortless with a great job on map number 3 to put him on the board and out of the danger zone, but we have a lot more Quake on the way, Dan. And the next one is going to be just as important, Maxter versus Cygib, and again, this is going to decide Cygib's fate. He has to try and pull out a 3-0 over Maxter to kind of throw dramas to the Wolves rather than himself, but we're going to make you wait. We'll be right back, and why don't we meet back here in like 5 minutes, Chad? How's that sound? See you soon.